So John Higgins breaks off frame 5 after our mid-session interval. Thank you for that lovely cup of coffee you made me, Dennis. Really nice.
Not a bad break-off shot.
I've got it.
He's covered all the red, so Mark going for the 2-cushion escape to glance off that red to the right of the pack. Not many better in the game at that type of shot than Mark Selby. Mark's coming around to have a look to see if John can get to the potting angle of the red to the left of the bunch, but he can't. And the black's tied up at the moment. I'm just wondering if Mark will play the red to the right of the black and just bring it into play again. That's what he's doing.
Yes, excellent shot. Just wonder whether John could take this pot on, but he'd avoid it. The pack that is on the way back, so he couldn't, so just a thin safety shot. Much more difficult to control the cue ball, those sorts of shots.
And he's just had the old snooker player's pet hit, hitting a balk colour when you play that safety shot and knocking it onto the cushion safe. Spoils the game somewhat when that happens. Okay, not too bad with just the yellow out of commission. A bit on the thick side with that one. But at first glance, no easy pot. You can get through to the one that's near the corner pocket, but it's a tough shot. Won't even entertain that one. Might just be able to see enough of one to flick it into the left corner and play the safety shot. Yeah, there's one that's just sticking out a little bit. That's the one. Has he covered it? Slightly hampered with the yellow.
Yeah, Kewen's slightly more awkward. Not 100% convinced he can get by there. He's just having a check on that. Also, the other problem, he won't be able to get the cue ball out down the table because there's a red to the right of the one he's going to pot that'll stop that. So, not particularly appetising this. It's one of those, might just be a shot you just got to pot the red and play the next shot safety wise, because I can't see him scoring many off this.
Now, how true is that? That white's drifting, as you can see. It was a delicate little shot that he was attempting there, but it did drift to the right.
Well, you can see the cue ball moving, but if he's playing that shot, Dennis, obviously he didn't think he could pot it, because
Extended race.
why not just play the pot and then play a safety? Strange one, that. Must have been tighter than we thought.
And this is an awkward shot that John's faced with, because he's got the extension on the rest, the extension on the cue. He's got to get it out of the way pretty quick because the white's going to come back towards him. He might possibly... Well, look at this. That is... Hey? Jan Verhaas caught a salmon with that last week. Hey, John's not nervous, that's just... Couldn't stop that from wobbling around there. It was difficult to control the cue ball. And there's extensions all over the place here.
Yeah, tricky little shot this. Once again, one of those pots into a blind pocket. Okay, it's just dead weight, nothing on the cue ball really, but the pot itself needs to be got. Well played. And John will know the importance of this frame. Going 4-1 down to Mark Selby will start to look pretty difficult, so win this one and just get back to one behind.
9.
And good chance this. Few reds in the open.
Well, that's not what he intended. The black's away up onto the yellow spot.
16.
He didn't want to hold the black spot there. Now he's got to have to force this in to get up for the blue. You can see the white almost on the little cross that's there. We call it a spot because they always used to put spots on the snooker table, and nowadays on the championship cloth you just put a little cross there. The spots are there to protect the cloth. If you put the cross on a club table, it would be a hole there in a matter of a week or so. Might just be okay. The one at the back of the little bunch of reds, there's a gap through to that. That's the one.
Well, he was playing up for the black to get that down the table as quickly as possible, but come a little bit too far. Maybe a case of taking the brown and keeping the break going before that. I mean, he could take the black, but it's a lot thinner and a more difficult pot, so it might just be the brown. Just struggling to get the cue ball in the ideal position here, John. He's, ever since he held that spot, Dennis, he sort of lost it, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I mean, to pot the brown and try and free the pink and reds, they're not ideally situated, but let's see how he feels. And that's what he's done, and he deserves to be on a red the way he's played that, but at first glance he's very, very unfortunate. I think he's covered everything into the left corner. I mean, he couldn't have played that any better, and he certainly deserved a better outcome than that. That looks very tight to me. Left hand side off the cushion into the pink. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, the thing with this is if he can see this red, it'd be plain ball and across the table, and he might be able to get on the pink, but it's obviously too tight. Really unlucky that.
He's got to be a wee bit careful here. He's got an easy. He's back looking at it again. He's got an easy safety shot to play the white up towards the yellow. But if it doesn't pot, it doesn't pot, and usually your first instinct is correct. John Higgins, what are you doing?
John Higgins.
He tried to
27.
convince himself there that he could pot that, and he had to play it with pace. He had an easy safety shot on. I think he was so disappointed at where the white finished, he tried to convince himself he could pot that.
1.
Yes, he'd be kicking himself, Johnny, but I'd love to have stole himself there and just played the correct shot, which was down the table, but you've done it now. Just have to hope that Mark Selby isn't proficient with the rest, because if this black goes in, it's a fabulous chance.
All depends whether he can get through to the... There's a couple of reds available. Oh, he can get through to the one that he wanted. Just a stun shot again to leave the black.
9.
Can he make John Higgins pay for that strange shot that he took? He didn't think he could pot it, and then he thought, I might be able to pot it, but that's not the best shot he's ever played.
Yeah, you'd like that one back again.
16.
Just wondering whether the red to the left of the cue ball pots. Oh, he's got a... does indeed.
Sorry.
Asking referee Amber has something there.
Well, apparently there's a bit of a downpour at the moment, so I'm wondering if it's... Yeah, it is rain on the roof. Believe it or not, we once had a snooker
17.
match stopped, rain stopped play. Fred Davis against Alex Higgins in Manchester. There was a lovely photograph of the boys with an umbrella. It come in through the roof, leaked in through the roof. I'm sure that won't happen here.
It's raining on his parade after that shot.
Higgins.
Understand that one. Didn't think he was going to be anywhere near the middle pocket, but he's managed to make the angle. He'll be very disappointed there, Mark Selby. That was a really good chance. That was a big shot for John. Long pot success at down to 20%. And 43's not the best either for Mark Selby, but John's at 20 is not up to his usual standards.
Well, he's got another chance here, although the white's going to be almost tight in the cushion, but you would think he doesn't have to play this with too much pace, because the way he'll cannon this other red, you'd think every chance of finishing on pink or black.
Yeah, just doesn't want to get that cannon from behind, does he? And keep the cue ball trapped. So interested to see what happens off this. If he hits it on the way down, it'd be great. Which he did, Dennis.
But he didn't need to hit it that hard, and he would have finished on pink or black. I'm surprised that John played it at that pace.
I'm just wondering whether he was worried about getting the cannon from behind instead. As you say, I agree with you. Why hit it that hard otherwise?
Higgins, 1.
Yeah, just a gentle shot would have left him, well, certainly on the blue, but he's got second best. He's got Mark in all sorts of trouble here. But there's not many better at knowing the angles than Mark Selby. We have another Scot, Angles McManus, Alan Angles McManus was brilliant, but this fella knows his way around the table. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. That guy, the last tournament I christened him, and I like the name, I called him Satnav Selby. He knows his way around so well.
Brilliant. I mean, there's been 2 or 3 of them this evening, hasn't there? People have got out of snookers and difficult situations, and every one of them has been played to perfection. That's why they're 2 of the greatest tactical players who've played this game. Obviously that red in the balk area makes it a little trickier. Mark's just having a look to see if he leaves the cue ball over by the green pocket and keep that covered. So decided to play the red up and down, try and leave that cue ball in the corner. Clever shot. Played it well.
Yeah, well played.
Absolutely excellent that shot. All about the cue ball. Finishing so close to the ball cushion, of course, difficult to get the cue in the air and dig down into the back of the white. Even if he hits that red next to the brown, he can't bring it back in the balk area. Couldn't have played that much better, John Higgins.
Here we go. He's got the butt of the cue up in the air. This will be quite a good shot. Well, it wasn't a bad effort, but he's left a possible pot. But these are the sort of shots that John Higgins used to knock in. And he's getting himself ready to take on a pot that he needs to knock in. Well, where's this red going? Seemed to hit that much harder than he needed, and that's the type of shot that John used to knock in with regularity.
Yes, some of his long game this evening is causing him problems and giving Mark Selby chances he really shouldn't be getting. But there's what he's missed. Surprise.
Another little turning point maybe in this match. We had one in the second frame when John missed one into the right corner. Could this be another mini turning point?
One. 8.
So a 23-point lead already. So ball's in the middle of the table.
9.
For John Higgins. To accrue a very useful lead, if not the frame. One thing, he'll be disappointed if he doesn't win the frame from this.
15.
I bet he can't believe he's back at the table after he missed that long pot.
$60.
Shouldn't be a problem. Stun the green over for the red in the baulk area. Make sure he doesn't touch that blue. Well, he's actually going to play the run through up and down, which is fine. Red between blue and black.
19.
Still keeps his head so still on the shot, John Higgins. There's nothing really changed with his cue action over the years. Yeah, it was a frame he badly needed, and he was handed a lifeline, and Mark Selby missed that comfortable
27.
red into the left middle pocket.
$28.
It's the black to make absolutely sure.
$35. Thanks, John. 36. $42. 43. Foul. Mark Selby 4. John Higgins 43.
So Mark Selby concedes the frame, and John Higgins, aided by that break of 43, takes the fifth, and he's now only one behind at 3-2.